Hey, welcome back. It's Jason Walter here, and here's our latest California housing market update. I made a separate video a few days ago regarding the state as a whole, what we're seeing right now in California regarding our housing market. But in today's video, I'm going to share how each county in California fared because, of course, there's some pretty big differences here. So let's go ahead and dive right into the video because I want to share a very brief summary about what we're seeing across the state. And then I'm going to be sharing some regional levels as well as county level data with you guys here. So here's the biggest aha moment when I was looking at this latest report from the California Association of Realtors that I mentioned in my previous video here. But it's worth mentioning it again because look at this, because we're seeing this big increase of housing supply or the number of active listings in California. However, we're seeing a big decrease in pending home sales. So active listings, which is another word for housing supply, the total number of houses for sale in California has increased by almost 50% compared to 1 year ago. So in California, we've had more active listings compared to a year ago in 3 consecutive months here. We haven't seen that since basically 2019, where we had more active listings from the prior year. So this is a big increase of 46.7%. However, though, one would assume if we had a lot of demand right now, if we have a lot more options for home buyers, that should equate to more pending home sales. However, we're seeing just the opposite. So even though we're seeing far more active listings, pending home sales decreased by almost 31% from a year ago. And by the way, this is the worst decline since the pandemic shut down our housing market in California. And what we're also seeing right now in California is a decrease in home sales in general as well. So these are closed home sales, whereas we're talking about pending home sales. This is when a contract is signed between a buyer and a home seller. So it's not a closed escrow yet. But when we're talking about closed escrows, though, we are down 9.8% from April, the previous month, and also down 15.2% from the previous year. And according to the California Association of Realtors, this is the lowest sales level since June of 2020. And it says here, California's housing market started showing signs of a market shift in May. And according to the California Association of Realtors president, he had this to say: "We're beginning to see signs of a more balanced housing market with fewer homes selling above the asking prices and homes remaining on the market a little longer than in previous months." So that's what we're seeing across the state as a whole, but let's break it down by region in California. So it says here at a regional level, all major regions declined in sales from 1 year ago, with 4 of the 5 regions falling by double digits. And the Central Coast region continued to have big drops in home sales. Sales decreased 21.8% from 1 year ago. At the county level, though, 74.5% of all counties tracked by CAR experienced a decline in sales from a year ago. And Plumas County dropped the most at 46.3% compared to May of 2021. Okay, changing gears slightly, let's talk about home prices in California because, of course, you guys want to know what's going on with home prices here. So it says here at the county level, home prices continue to rise across the state. 15 counties in California set new record median highs in May. Also, 45 out of the 51 counties that the California Association of Realtors tracks had an increase in home prices compared to 1 year ago, with 31 of them, again, 31 out of the 51, rising by more than 10% from a year ago. Marin County also had the biggest year-over-year gain in home prices at 28.7%. That's pretty astonishing. Home prices there increasing by 28.7% in one single year. In stark contrast, though, 5 counties actually had a decrease in their median sold price in May. And Santa Barbara County dropped the most at 30.7%. And what we're also seeing in California right now is that housing supply has improved further. And they're saying here this improvement of housing supply was partly due to an increase in supply, in other words, an increase of new listings, and also partially due to a pullback in demand. It says here with both closed sales and pending sales slowing by double digits, total active listings experienced a gain of 46.7% in May, the largest year-over-year growth in at least the last 89 months. So in other words, we're seeing the biggest increase of active listings in California in at least 7 years. And this is obviously good news for home buyers looking to try to buy a house right now because with this big increase of active listings, more buyers have more options, and therefore we're going to be seeing less bidding wars, houses sitting in the market longer, and also price reductions. However, though, if you're a home seller, you might want to get your house listed for sale sooner rather than later because mortgage rates right now are at 6%. And we're talking about closed home sales for May. This is really what the market was like 1 to 2 months ago when mortgage rates were in the range of 4.5% to basically 5%. Also, according to this report here, 44 of the 51 counties that are tracked by CAR increase in active listings on a year-over-year basis. In other words, the vast majority of the counties in California had an increase of active listings compared to 1 year ago. And Yuba County had the biggest increase of housing supply with a gain of 191.8% in active listings from last May. Placer County, which is basically just east of Sacramento, had a gain of 108.2%, Nevada at 106%, and Contra Costa County, which is in the East Bay, a gain of 102% from 1 year ago. Okay, changing gears slightly, I want to share some graphics with you guys and then stick to the end of this video because I'm going to be sharing some details or some stats regarding home prices and home sales at the county level in California here because, of course, there's some very big differences. Every housing market's different, right? So here's the California housing market as a whole for May 2022. This was just released from the California Association of Realtors a few days ago at the time of this video. So existing home sales have decreased by 8.9% year to date. A big decrease year to year as well. Compared to 1 year ago, down 15.2%. Home prices reached all-time record highs of $898,000. That's a gain of almost 10% from a year ago. An unsold inventory index is sitting at 2.1 months. That's a big increase compared to May 2021. However, though, historically speaking, very low levels. Meanwhile, houses are still selling very quickly, 9 days on average. However, compared to May 2021, that's a big increase of almost 30%. Okay, let's talk about how each of the major regions in California fared. So here's Southern California. Home sales in Southern California have decreased by 14.3% year to year. Again, this is May 2021 compared to May 2022. Meanwhile, the existing home price, in other words, the median sold price in Southern California is at $841,000. That's a gain of almost 12% from a year ago. The unsold inventory index is basically on par with the state levels data as well as the median days on the market at 9 days. However, look at this. The sales price to list price ratio is 103.4%. That's also on par with the state's levels as well. What that basically means is that on average in Southern California for May, home sellers sold their houses for 3.4% more than their asking price. And here's what we're seeing in the Central Coast region. We're seeing a bigger decrease in home sales, a 21.8% decrease from a year ago. Compare that to Southern California, only decreased by 14.3%. And also the state as a whole, again, decreased by 15.2%. So we're seeing less home sales in the Central Coast region compared to the state as a whole. Meanwhile, the existing home sold price was basically just under $1 million, a gain of almost 11% from a year ago. And in the Central Valley, home sales decreased by 12.2%, below the 15.5% average across the state. And the median sold price sat at $500,000, a gain of 12.4% from May 2021. Also, houses still selling very quickly. The unsold inventory index still at very low levels. And the sales price to list price ratio is 102.3%. And here's what we're seeing in the San Francisco Bay Area. So home sales have decreased by 11.5% from a year ago. But look at this, the median sold price for a single family home in the Bay Area, $1.5 million. Compare this to the average across the nation. The median sold price across the nation is $400,000. So obviously you pay to live in the Bay Area, $1.5 million, a gain of 12.3%. Also, the unsold inventory index is very low at 1.7 months. Houses still selling very quickly. And look at this, the ratio is 109.3%, which basically means that home sellers sold their houses for 9.3% over their asking price in May, which is pretty astonishing given the fact that the median sold price is $1.5 million. So by my dumb math, that means that homes are selling for over $100,000 more than their asking price in May. In the far north region of California, which is in this general area right here, home sales decreased by a lesser amount, only decreased by 4% from a year ago. And also, this is the most affordable region in California. Median sold price at $425,000, but a big gain of 16.4% from a year ago, though. This is very normal as well. The unsold inventory index, days on the market, tends to be a little bit higher in this region compared to other regions. And also, this ratio here tends to be very low as well. But on average, home sellers sold their houses for their asking price in May in this region. Okay, let's talk more about home sales in California. So here are sales by region in California. Again, this is for May 2022. So basically, out of all the houses that sold in May, 46% came from SoCal. Central Valley represented 21% of all home sales in May. Also, 21% of all home sales in May were in the San Francisco Bay Area. And here's the percent change in home sales compared to 1 year ago by region. This is kind of funny too. It says May 2022 home sales growth by region, but every single region here declined. So this should read May 2022 home sale declines by region. In any case, in the Central Coast, home sales declined by 21.8% compared to May 2021. SoCal decreased by 15.2%. Central Valley declined by 12.2%, and the far north only declined by 4%. Okay, let's talk about home prices in California. Again, we've reached all-time record highs, just under $890,000 as the median sold price, more than double the national average at $400,000. In any case, this is the new record high. This is set for the third consecutive month in a row regarding home prices. As you guys can see here, 2022 home prices have skyrocketed this year, a gain of 9.9% from 1 year ago. Meanwhile, the price per square foot also set a new record high as well. $436 per square foot for May. Okay, let's talk more about housing inventory or active listings in California. Have a look at this because the unsold inventory index, again, it's at 2.1 months. Compare that to 1 year ago, we were at 1.8 months. So we're moving in the right direction though, but historically speaking though, we're still at very, very low levels. I mean, looking at back in 2013 all the way until 2019, it was more normal to have basically a 4-month supply of inventory. Now we only have 2.1 months. And obviously back in 2007 and 2008, we basically had over 10 months of housing supply, reaching 16 months basically in 2008 and also in 2007. So obviously, historically speaking, we're at still very low levels. In my personal opinion, if we want to see our housing market decline greatly, we need this number to be about 4 months. So basically, housing supply to basically double what we have right now. That would really cause a huge impact on our housing market here, even though we're seeing signs of cooling right now, even with a 2.1 months housing supply, right? So even though historically speaking, we're still at very low levels, inventory has now reached its highest level since 2020 in California. And basically, as you guys can see here, ever since the beginning of this year, inventory has been creeping upwards. Okay, changing gears slightly, let's talk about home prices and home sales by region and also by county in California. So again, in California, for an average single family home, again, that's at $898,000, the third consecutive month of all-time record highs in California. Also, the median sold price in May for condos and townhomes in California was actually $678,000, basically $200,000 less than the average single-family home in California. But look at the differences here in prices. For single-family houses, a gain of almost 10% from a year ago, but look at condos and townhomes, a gain of 14.5% from a year ago. In regards to home prices by each of the 7 major regions in California, only the Central Coast and the San Francisco Bay Area saw decreases in home prices from a month ago. However, though, look at price gains from a year ago, all increasing by double digits. Inland Empire increased the most by 17.2%, and that was followed closely by the far north at 16.4%. In regards to home sales by region, every region recorded a decrease compared to 1 year ago. The biggest decline was actually in the Central Coast, a decrease by 21.8%. The far north, again, declined the least by 4%. But look at compared to 1 month ago, all major regions recorded a decrease in home sales, except for the far north and also the San Francisco Bay Area. And speaking of the San Francisco Bay Area, look at these home prices. The median sold price in San Mateo, $2.2 million. San Francisco, $2 million. Marin County, $2.1 million, absolutely insane. And look at this gain here, 28.7% increase in home prices compared to 1 year ago in Marin, and also in Napa, a gain of 25.7%. In stark contrast though, look at Contra Costa County, which is basically in the East Bay the San Francisco Bay Area, only increasing by 1% in 1 year. Also in San Francisco, they only saw gains of 6.1%, obviously far less than Marin and Napa counties. However, though, San Francisco was one of the few regions that saw gains in home sales from 1 year ago. They have increased by 14.2%. In stark contrast, though, look at Santa Clara County, a decline by 21.2%, and also Sonoma declining by 22.8%. All right, so that was the San Francisco Bay Area, but let's talk about SoCal. So Orange County was the most expensive county within this region here. $1.3 million basically for the median sold price in May, and that's a gain of 17.7% from 1 year ago. And as you guys can see here, compared to May 2022, also home prices increased by double digits from a year ago in each of these counties here. In contrast though, look at home sales year over year. So Orange County declined the most by 22.6%, but all these major counties here declined by double digits from a year ago. Okay, let's talk about the Central Coast region, Monterey. Love Monterey. The average home price there, $900,000. That's a gain of only 1.5%. But look at San Luis Obispo, San Luis, 20.1% increase in home prices there in one single year. But look at Santa Barbara though, home prices declined by 30.7%, and also month over month declined by 25%. And also they're seeing a big decrease in home sales as well. The biggest decline in each of these major counties here, declining by 29%. Okay, let's talk about Placer County as well as Sacramento County, which is basically more or less my territory here. So Placer County, which actually goes all the way up until Lake Tahoe, the median sold price in May was $735,000. That's a gain of 10.8% from May 2021. They also saw declines in sales compared to 1 month ago and also compared to 1 year ago as well. In Sacramento County, the median sold price in May was $580,000. That's an increase of 16% from a year ago. But look at sales. Sales declined by 11% in one single month and declined by 15.2% from 1 year ago. And Lassen County is actually the most affordable county in California right now. The median sold price, just over $300,000. But look at this price gains, 22.2% in one single year. And Plumas County, which is basically just north of Sacramento, saw a giant decrease in home sales from a year ago, down 46.3%. In stark contrast, though, in Siskiyou County, they had a gain of 53.5% and also a gain of home prices by 27%. So comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. Also, if you guys got any value out of today's video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Hope you guys have an awesome day. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.